Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this is going to be a Diablo 4 video here, talking about Blizzard being confident that Diablo 4 will not be broken at launch for real this time. We've got this Kotaku article, so I want to cover this for you and talk about if I agree or disagree as we all plan for Diablo 4 releasing soon. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so I say this at the start of a few of my videos, but I'm excited to cover the in-game stuff, and I will be doing it for you as soon as we can. We're all just kind of waiting for the game to release, so I do want to do a good job of keeping you in the loop on the news and some of the sentiments around Diablo 4 here on the channel. So, okay, Blizzard confident that Diablo 4 will not be broken at launch for real this time, and they say for real this time as kind of a meme because famously, not just Blizzard, but a lot of these big titles that release, they are just a complete travesty on release day with queues of hours and hours to get into the game, or a complete laggy, buggy mess. So, we saw it with Diablo 3. I actually remember the launch of Diablo 3 and trying to play with my friends on opening night. We had like a LAN party and we all brought our computers over to my apartment, and then we couldn't even play until like 5 a.m. and we eventually just said, screw it, we got to get some sleep, and we went to bed. So it was the famous Error 37 meme, and you weren't even able to play on the launch of the game. Which is what leads us into the start of the article, saying players are more nervous than ever these days about games launching in a poor state. And with a not so great history of busted Diablo launches, Blizzard knows a lot of people are worried that its upcoming always online action RPG Diablo 4 might be the next AAA game to crash and burn on release day. But Blizzard, bless its heart, is really confident that Diablo 4's launch will be a more stable, smooth experience this time around. Now, I think it's worth noting that, I mean, what do you think Blizzard's going to say? Like, they might be right. It might be fine. But what do you think they're going to say? We want players to brace for a tragic launch. I mean, of course they're going to say, hey, we're confident that everything's going to be good. So you can't really put a whole lot of stake into that. Then it says, if you're reading Kotaku, I don't really have to tell you about the infamous launch of Diablo 3. Yeah, we talked about that, and its dreaded Error 37. I've never read this before. I didn't know they were going to talk about that. Diablo 3, like its upcoming sequel, also had an always online requirement. That was actually super controversial back in the day. Diablo 3 was actually the last game that I installed with a disc. I have like a DVD or a CD or whatever, and I hard installed it in my Tower drive. That's the last game I installed like that. And when everyone stormed in to grab loot and kill demons, the servers collapsed. Diablo 2 Resurrected suffered similar issues at launch, and Blizzard's Overwatch 2 had anything but a smooth rollout. Add in all of the issues that players have had with the recent AAA games like Star Wars Jedi, Redfall. I would add in like New World, Cyberpunk. I mean, lots of these games have had issues. But in an interview with Eurogamer, Diablo 4 Associate Game Director, I'm so sorry, Joe, I'm going to try my best, Joe Payaporia, that's what it looks like to me. Sorry if I mispronounced it. Talks about how all the beta tests Blizzard has been running over the last few months have been the key to avoiding a disaster at launch. Every one of these betas has been transformational in terms of our understanding of our own technical capacity and what we need to do to have a great launch experience in general. So it's been great. I will say that they have done a good amount of testing. They've had the private beta, the open beta, the server slam. So they've had 3 opportunities to hopefully see on the back end and iron out some of the stuff. I've actually been personally DMing with Blizzard when I'm experiencing issues, and they're contacting me like, hey, can you show us what's happening so we can fix it? And I've personally been trying to help them troubleshoot some stuff. So I will give them credit. They do seem to be putting in the effort to interact with people that are having problems and do enough of these betas and testing phases to at least try and mitigate and have a smooth launch. Blizzard told Eurogamer that before public beta testing, the company had always been doing a lot of internal testing, but while those tests can help find some errors and issues, Pypioria explained the real deal wide scale beta tests with real players are obviously going to be much more useful. Yeah, for sure. When people coming through the different ISPs and coming in through different servers all around the world, there's much more data you can get from that, and with each of those we found lots of little things that happen, and these things like clan invitations that happens when you join a party in a certain way, with lots of little different things across the board, which, by the way, the like clan system and inviting to a clan and joining a clan is a complete travesty. It's like really weird how it functions. So like you'll have somebody request to join the clan, and then when you accept it as a leader, it sends them an invite to join the clan, and then they accept the invite, and then the clan leader has to like approve them accepting the invite. So it's like a 5-step back and forth process. It's really weird. It's not just like, hey, can I join? Boom, done. Or, hey, would you like to join? Boom, done. It's not simple. It's like this back and forth ping pong of trying to get approved to a clan. So I hope they change that at some point. But he also wanted to make it clear that these tests were not marketing betas or tests that are just demos to get people to buy the game. Yeah, so basically they're saying they're actually using it and its necessity to fix things and help to have a good launch. So then further, Pyporia claimed that Blizzard and the devs working on the upcoming Diablo 4 learned a ton from each beta, pointing out that even the last one, which went pretty smooth, all things considered, still helped the team find things that happened in the back end. Still went pretty smooth, all things considered. I would say there was a little bit of drama. I thought about covering here in the channel. There's a little bit of drama around the Ashava cosmetic because the boss was pretty tough. They capped you at level 20. You couldn't get very strong. And then some people really struggled trying to get that cosmetic and they were super upset about it. So I may cover that on the channel here in the next couple days, but it's just kind of like a little thing that a decent amount of people are upset about around the cosmetic and the server slam. But he claims that they only caught those problems because of the previous betas and the extra weekend. Okay, of course, this is exactly what the company making Diablo 4 would say. Yeah, this is all stuff that I said. So, okay. Blizzard seems confident that they will have a good launch of Diablo 4, which is good news, but to be fair, it's what we would expect them to say. And I always kind of caution people, like, before you run out and you take a bunch of vacation or take a day off of work for release day, you really got to be careful on that stuff because you could end up taking a day off work and then just sit in queue for 5 hours. So I would almost, just kind of plan to go hard in the paint on like day 2 or 3. But I will say, in their defense, Diablo Immortal, hate it or love it, whatever you want to say, the actual launch and the functionality of the game when it was released was pretty good. I would give it like an 8 out of 10. You were able to get in decently quick, and you were able to mostly play without a bunch of craziness going on. So I will say the last big Diablo title we saw them launch, it did go pretty smooth. So we do have a little bit of a reason to be hopeful. But at the very least, I think we're gonna see queue times. We like the main, like the big hype betas, like the open betas we saw for Diablo 4. We did see some pretty big queues. That we saw some people in queue for like 2 or 3 hours during like Diablo 4's most hyped phase of beta, and I personally experienced them as well. And then you would like get in, and there would be a bug, and it would kick you out, and you go back to the queue again. So the fact that I've seen those happen on the beta, I hope that Blizzard is able to kind of address that and fix it and have enough servers live so that we don't need to be in queue for longer than anything over like 1 hour gets pretty brutal. When it gets to like 2, 3, 4 hours, especially like it did in New World and stuff, that can be really disheartening, and it makes this and then it kind of like compounds and snowballs because then the people in game don't want to log out. They'll sit here and like set up a macro when they go to like eat dinner or shower because they don't want to go back into a 4-hour queue. So it just exacerbates the problem and makes it even worse. So it's one of those things that you really got to tamp down, or else it's just going to keep snowballing on top of itself. But also, Blizzard is kind of releasing Diablo 4, which this has been another hot topic of the community. They're kind of releasing it in a tiered sort of fashion with like early access if you pre-order certain versions, and then they're also like doing like a June 1st I heard about a release for certain ways, June 2nd, June 6th, the full launch. So there is a little bit of a tiered system, which some people think is really toxic, but one of the upsides to it, I guess, could be that maybe it cuts down on some of these issues and some of these queue times and some of the craziness of having like a full-fledged launch time of day. But yeah, that does it for this one, and I will continue to keep an ear to the ground and cover Diablo 4, the game, and the news and the community for you here on the channel. So remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Diablo 4 content. I am excited for release, and I will see all of you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.